What up, peeps? Welcome to the Kisscapades podcast. I'm your host, John Telewa, aka the Kissbandit. And in this show, we explore the key elements that shape our fulfilling existence, from health and well-being to financial success, meaningful relationships, and the pursuit of happiness. We cover it all. Our guests include experts, professionals, and everyday individuals who have remarkable stories to tell. Tune in to learn practical tips, gain valuable insights, and discover strategies for personal growth and transformation. Whether you're seeking to improve your health, build your wealth, enhance relationships, or find lasting happiness, we got you covered. Welcome to today's episode. Should I proudly say I do have a special guest? But anyway, welcome to another episode of the Kisscapades podcast. I do have a very special guest with me today. And before I start on anything, just the conversation, I'll let you just, introduce yourself. Just tell the people your name, what you do, and then don't worry, this is your first podcast, right?
Yeah, it is.
How does it feel? Before you even introduce yourself, what are you feeling right now?
Honestly, I can't pinpoint one emotion. It's just a lot, but I think mostly exciting.
Exciting?
This is something new. Yeah.
Yeah. That's what we want to hear. So now, just introduce yourself, tell the people what you do, and then I'll just, start off the conversation.
Okay, so I don't do one thing, so don't expect just one label. My name is Gloria Mungare. Online, I go by Justglomie. And so I'm a crochet artist, I'm a hiker. I just do a lot of things that I enjoy. That's what I define myself as.
Okay. Yeah, because I think I've seen last time I checked, I was seeing like a lot of the hiking, thing. And now I was just thinking to myself, it's like you've almost moved to just nature, and that's the theme of...
That's the theme of my life, yes.
Everything that I see, like Instagram, what do you call it, like TikTok.
Remember YouTube as well.
So. Wait, you have a channel?
Yes, I do.
Is it consistent? Do you post on a regular?
Yeah.
What?
I'm posting every month since December.
Okay, once a month?
No, 4 times a week. I mean, 4 times a
4
month.
times, so every week one video?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
What's the name of the channel?
Justglomie.
Justglomie.
Yeah, Justglomie.
Is there any specific thing you talk about or just put out content-wise?
Same as the way I've described myself. It's hiking, it's crochet, it's things that I do with my life. Also, recently I started delving into mental health because I did psychology in university. So professionally, that's what I should be doing. But I felt like I'm not yet ready to take on people's problems. I need to, get my own house together first before I offer my help. Fill my cup.
I mean, you can always still make that money and, as long as you... Oh, okay, but is it... You studied psychology, right? So before I go to, the nitty-gritties, what actually made you... Because I reached out to you because I saw, a lot of, just mental health themes, let's say in the most recent videos. Yeah. And I was like, hey, you know what? I think there's a time we talked a while back. Do you remember where we met?
I think it was at an event.
What do you mean? So you don't even remember where we met?
It's been a long time. You met me at a very odd part of my life.
What do you mean odd?
In limbo. When you're in uni, you don't even know what you're doing. So I did a lot in uni. I met a lot of people. I did,
Listen, I've
everything.
also done a lot, but I remember exactly where I met you.
Oh, but okay.
And what you were wearing.
I was
your
working.
Hair. I mean, yeah.
See? I wasn't there for the event. I was there because of work.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But I reached out, though.
Yes,
I think
you did.
so,
You
right?
did. You did. I think...
See, I might know you say, a lot of people reach out. Kwani, how am I even supposed to remember
No,
now?
here's the thing. People don't really reach out, often. People would assume that I talk to a lot of people, but I don't. I'm such an introvert. Even the people I talk to, it's all intentional. So I feel like when I talk to people and I don't know what it's about, maybe I forget. But the faces I'll not forget.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. It's good to know where I fall now and which category I fall now, which is still okay. But
what category is that? I'm here today.
Oh, intentional.
Yes.
At least it's because of the podcast. I'll talk to this nigga, which is still okay. But we met at the wine event at Park-in by Radisson. Yeah. Remember that event?
Yeah, I think you were doing video photography.
Yeah, I was doing some video work for Viva Global.
Yeah.
And I remember.
Thing is, I remember. I can't remember specifics. I can picture everything. If you told me to paint a picture, I could paint. I would paint it.
But I still remember that. So okay, what made you start like just getting deep into just even like mental health? Because I think the most I remember it was like the last what I saw in the video is like you're talking about like something to do with therapy. So I'm not sure whether. Are you talking about running away from therapy, or are you talking about someone running away from therapy? Which is which? I can't remember.
Myself. Of course, I'm talking about myself because I started therapy last year. And even when I started, it was because, what else can I do? So when I started, I was like, okay, this is cool. Then I stopped because I was like, wait, I don't even know what's happening. Because there was a lot of, is it revelations from those first few sessions? I was like, I don't want to do this anymore. It's scary. Like, there's so much to unpack. And I'm like, I don't think I have the mental capacity. So I ran away for like 5 months. 5 months? Yeah, because when I went back, she was like, you've been gone for a while. Are you okay? I was like, yeah. Then we just went back onto it like normal.
So is it
anyway
because of, okay, I mean, it seems clearly very emotional now. So, but do you have some tissue?
Gosh, I didn't think it'd be this early.
No. It's all good. It's all good. But I think it's also just important when you see someone online, like just putting themselves out there. Clearly, it's something that it's deep, and they still do want to share the journey. Yeah, but sorry, should we take a break?
No, it's okay.
You'll be good. You'll be good, eh?
I'll be fine. The waterworks are always there, so it's not new.
I mean, I just have, it's 7 minutes in, and I was just like, I was looking at your eyes, and then I was saying like, I hope there ain't no way you haven't started. But I do respect and appreciate when people are just putting themselves out there, because you see, even like for me, when I saw the video, immediately I reached out to you and I was like, yo, would you want to just talk about this on the podcast? Because it's something that, you're already like kind of putting it out there already. So it's not something that I'm just like, hey, by the way, I heard, rumor has it that. No. So I was like, you know what, let me just reach out and, because I think that's a journey that a lot of people are now going through. Yeah. And I know different people are coming from different backgrounds, different situations. So I wouldn't judge, but I'm always telling people like, the one thing about me is like, I do like understanding people's lives and want to be like just even part of the story, journey, or just be part of it as well. So I hope I'm not being too intrusive.
Imagine, no, like this is me. So even if like it seems off or something, like this is
no.
This is me.
I've seen waterworks in the podcast, but
not 7 minutes in.
I was just like, I just looked at that and I was like, okay, now should I? But would you like to just maybe chat about like, what made you just pursue that journey? Whether you're comfortable, you can just touch on what you want to. Anything that's too much, you don't have to. We can always do like excessive or like on part 2 or whatever.
Yeah, you can delve into later once you get out.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Okay, initially, I think when, how do I phrase this? When you're unwell, and as much as you run away, it doesn't go away as you run. So I feel like, in as much as I'd tell myself, you're good, you've done psychology, you've read the books, you can navigate through all of these things that you're feeling. But here's the thing, like a professional at least doesn't have that bias of, doesn't have that bias to tell you like in flower letters that you're good. They'll tell you, like they'll help you figure out what's going on, things that you don't even understand yourself. So I felt like it was about time I stopped running. Even though I'll just try it once and then run again, at least I'll try it. So even when I started, I wasn't like doing it because I took myself. It's because I was like, okay, you need to figure something out.
Yeah.
I think it was also in a midst of the binge drinking phase. I don't say everyone has, but it happens at some point in time. So I was like drinking very often, and I'm like, okay, I don't even like drinking. I don't like the feeling of being drunk. I don't like the noise because you're not drinking in your own house. You're drinking outside. So it would go on every week, and I'm like, okay, I don't want to do this. Why am I here? So I think that's when I was like, maybe just go for a session, even though you don't know what's wrong. At least go and have someone see what's happening inside. So I went for the first session. It was online, of course. I'm not going to any physical sessions.
Okay.
So after that first session, everybody even cried through all of it. And she just continued letting me talk. I was like, so did I just need to talk? Is that what was overloading me like this whole time? And yeah, it was. I just needed to talk.
Oh, you just needed to talk.
Yeah.
Do you feel like, and this is just coming from like an outsider maybe, because maybe for me, like my podcast, maybe it's my therapy because I just get to talk to a lot of people, rant a bit here, shout, have debates and all that. Maybe it's therapeutic for me as well. So I wouldn't know. But do you think like just talking to like someone, especially a professional, because for me, how I'm looking at it, I'd be like, no. I'm talking to maybe friends, podcasters, or maybe like comment section, like on, let's say, TikTok and stuff. Maybe that works for me. But do you feel like maybe talking to like a stranger who maybe doesn't know anything about you is like a clean way of like just expressing yourself? Because maybe friends now they're like, come on, what do you mean? Stressed, what do you mean?
But then at the same time, I wouldn't tell a random stranger my problems. So I feel like with a professional, that is solicited. Because I can go meet someone at a party somewhere and then pour my heart out, and their response is very lackluster. So I'm like, why did I even pour my heart out? There was no point of me just telling someone to tell them.
Yeah.
So I feel like with the professional, it was more of this person isn't going to judge me regardless. Because that's one thing you may have when talking to someone. They'll judge you either how you're handling things, how things you're reacting to it. And you don't need someone judging you for your downfalls.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I feel like not just a stranger, maybe a professional.
A professional, somebody who's actually studied. And even when you're expressing yourself, they kind of understand how they're supposed to handle the situation professionally.
Yes, like someone wouldn't be like, wow, uko sure? No, uko sawa. You know? Like if someone told me that, I'm never going back to them again.
Yeah, like, no.
Like,
This is
no
too
way.
judgmental, man. I can't do this. Yeah. But even in that order, would you say like maybe it's because like kind of right now with the climate, like I see a lot of people just going through, how can I say it? A lot. Is it stress? Should I say it's stress? Because like, okay, for me, and I always say I would want to understand because I know I've been stressed in the most darkest ways, but I've never found myself saying like, hey, I think I'm about to lose it, kinda. I'm just trying to think. Was it even? Did I even do like a drinking phase or anything? No, I've just always had like good vibes. If I'm stressed, I just maybe sleep it off, wake up the next bit. But I've never gotten to a point where I thought maybe I feel like I need to see an expert. But what I'm seeing like right now, a lot of people are just going through it and they're saying like, I don't think my mental well-being is good. I am not okay. So I do want to like, even for people who are like out there and they still don't understand what it exactly means, is it like just through personal experiences, like something you've gone through, or what exactly makes you, or is it like maybe after going to like a therapy session, does it take you back maybe to a childhood memory that now it's like, is that, well, I mean, I would want to know like what the case. We don't have to say the details if you want to talk about the details, which is still okay, but you can just share.
Okay, so I think with a lot of things you experience as an adult, it's because of your childhood experiences. Because a lot of your foundational years happen from age 0 to 10, 11. So I would say if you spend all these years just putting things in the back burner, when you become an adult now who can perceive all these things and maybe remember all these things, you can't just forget again. You can't just throw it back and be like, okay, I'm good.
Yeah.
Because something will happen and then it'll come back. Either you'll react in a manner that you've never even seen yourself reacting. And it's all because of all that pent up emotions that you've keep putting in the back burner. So I would say like going now backwards and pinpointing them one at a time.
Yeah.
Because like say from my first session to my recent session, I found out that there's things that I react towards that I don't even have a basis for. Like, say, for example, I'm usually quite anxious when I go for events or, like, even leaving my house, even coming here.
You are anxious?
Wow.
Huh?
So I'd find, like, okay, what's making me anxious? Because it's not that I don't want to come and do this podcast. It's not that I don't want to go out and meet new people. Then I'd find maybe there's something like the commute. Like, I'll leave my house and the conductors already start, yeah. So I'm like, okay, like I don't like over that. Here, energy like, you're already disorienting me and I don't want to be here.
Yeah.
So then comes maybe you're caught in traffic and then maybe the driver is driving badly. So these small things are these small things trigger you so much along the way. And then you'll just conclude, I don't like leaving my house. But is it really that thing? No, it's just the small things. Like, I don't like the commutes because there's so many people around, a lot of sensory stimulation. So it's like I'm being overwhelmed while I'm just trying to exist in this life. Because even when I'm going hiking, using public transport is not a dream, but going to the waterfall is,
Yeah.
Like all these means to things that I enjoy doing cause me stress. That doesn't mean I don't like doing the things I do.
Yeah.
So then as me, I would maybe find a way, how will I alleviate all these things? Say now I would carry my crochet things everywhere. When I feel like overwhelmed, I'll just start crocheting. Or if I have, videos I'm editing, I'll just pull that out. At least that takes away the whole, I think, anxiety of just sitting in this place waiting to get to another place. Give myself a distraction that helps me get there easier so that I don't keep struggling in every step of the way.
So you're not the type of person who can just go maybe somewhere in town and just chill like this in that public and just chill.
That's crazy.
You can't.
That's crazy.
Like where you just sit, how people would be like, let's say at Hilton, and then it's bikes, there's matatus, there are random people, there's a pastor there screaming peer at you. You can't.
If I don't need to go to town, why am I in town? why am I sitting in town if I don't need to be there?
But I'm just trying to see, because I'm also trying to put it this way, that you have to also look at it like these are other things that, let's say, people just do on a normal day-to-day basis, and such things don't trigger them. Like even like if a bike guy is like, "Wait, toka konjia," you're just like, come on, you're just smiling at them.
I'm going home. I'm done.
You're like, it's over. It's over.
Too much.
So how is it something that you think you will need to overcome, or you just feel like you just want to just be in that safe space? Because I'm guessing like now that means just doing the normal things, like you've said, they're super stressful.
I mean, the thing is, I'll do them regardless because there's no point in time I'll just wake up and be like, okay, I'm going to the stage, nothing will happen, it'll be all good.
Yeah.
Like with me doing this continuously, despite of me not liking it or being afraid of it, it also gives me that sort of power, being like, these things are not going to stop you just because you're afraid of them. The discomfort doesn't mean you're incapable of doing something. It's just there and it will exist because, maybe something happened in your childhood and things like that. Like, so for you to, I think, overcome them is just to accept some things.
Yeah. So you'll just have to deal with those exercises.
Yeah. Like slowly, it's like you're weaning yourself into this new reality that you want to create for yourself.
Yeah. Do you have friends maybe who are close to you that you'd say like, maybe help you with winging this?
Oh, I'd say my partner mostly because he's much more of an extrovert and I am not. So I think having him around doing things that are normal also shows me that these things are normal.
Yeah.
Like these things are, you
it's
can
not
do
meant
it.
to hurt you. This is just like something, a day in the life.
You may be afraid, but what's going to happen after that?
Yeah.
Are you going to let that fear rule you, or will you give yourself that chance to keep trying? Yeah.
So I'm also imagining, like, let's say, if you have future plans of, like, let's say having like a kid. I don't know if that's something that you have in your plans.
I don't know.
Like, I don't know.
Not too soon to know.
I know if you talk about anxiety, a kid is waking you up in the middle of the night.
It's like my kid needs to eat. I'm like, I don't even know what you want.
Yeah.
So I feel like when that time comes, I'm sure I'll be ready.
Yeah, and I think also that's something that helps a lot. I think that also gives a lot of people some sort of personal connection, because now you can only imagine a kid now, there's no taking a break there.
You can't be like, I'm scared today. Okay,
No. The kid needs to go to Hosi for checkup, maybe school when they start school and stuff. Like, let's say even if you have a partner, I'm probably sure they have to leave at times to go and do like their ninis. But a kid would actually give you like a bond for probably like till they start maybe 4 years there or something before they start school or something. So, I'm just dropping hints there, I'm not expert. I'm no expert, but I'm just saying. But anyway, how would you say, like, what do you think, like, people in, like, let's say, like, your generation maybe, what do you think? Because I'm seeing like it's a common thing. What do you think it's triggering this effect, or just making people like find themselves in a, like, I know now so many people from the new generation who are like just introverts, and just the same way you're describing a lot of things like public means,
like the normal
being
things.
here, like, being in a supermarket where it's busy, people are moving around and stuff, like all those things. What do you think is really just a common trigger or the cause of all this? Is it social media? Is it, because apart from even like just childhood, because I'm guessing from me, I'm definitely from a different generation. Us, we didn't have like, I don't want to say the luxury. There was no even single time for you to say like, ati mental what?
What is that?
What? And they're like, ati umesema, what? Mental what? I don't think we had even space for that. And I think that's why now you see, like, I have also like friends who like, or people I know who are like on things like antidepressants. They have to do those therapy sessions and all those things. But what do you think is just like the main, because I don't know where it's coming from, but I think it's a bit rampant right now.
I think
maybe from you just observing.
I think lacking proper coping mechanisms, because if you've noticed, like, the rate of alcoholism in the name of sherehe that we have, it's not you're going to drink away your problems, you're just going to make them worse. So, like, if you don't have that outlet, it doesn't go anywhere. So something that I think I observed in myself throughout my life is I find a hobby or something that I can do regardless of if anyone is there or if it's just me.
Yeah.
So when I was young, I used to go for a lot of plays, and that's because someone introduced them to me. And I was like, oh, I like this. This is so interesting. I want to go for more. So every time I'd go for a play, say I'd get, like, happy. Like, you're so interested in what these people are acting, like the set and everything.
Yeah.
So you find, like, small things like that will give you, like, make you eager to even wake up the next morning. Like, there's small things that allow you to be yourself and also be authentic in your own space. And then also I've seen people always wait for someone to do something with them. And having that, you're also locking yourself out of opportunities because you need someone around, which I don't think you do. If you want to do something by yourself and you're interested, go for it.
I'm always doing a lot of that, because, in fact, that thing of, like, just wait, first of all, have you ever planned something with, like, 3 people? Forget 5.
3.
Just 3 people. Yeah.
It seems as if you're forcing them to, do these plans with you, which makes no sense.
And even maybe afterwards, okay, sorry, just to cut you off. And
so, like, with finding now a healthy coping mechanism, it's when I found hiking. This was like in 2020. And then I didn't have someone per se to go with me. And old me would have been like, oh, I can't go alone. There's so many new people. Like, what will I do? How will I cope? What if no one likes me? I'm like, how does no one like me? I don't even know who they are.
Yeah, makes no sense.
So I think in just letting me do things by my own, I'm also showing myself that you can do this on your own. Like, you don't necessarily need a shoulder to lie on. Sometimes the people you wait for are the ones who will keep dragging you down, because they'll keep saying no and you'll keep being like...
They'll drag you down most of the time. Yeah. People who are like just always, in fact, 50-50. That's why I'm always like, you know what, if I need to do something, I'd rather just do it. If somebody wants to ask me about like, hey, how was the experience? And I'll just share it with you. And even for me, like, that's why I'm always sharing. Like, people say I share a lot, like, on TikTok or Instagram, but that's just, there's some people who out there genuinely are there like, yo, I really appreciate you sharing, because this has also maybe encouraged me either to exercise, to try new things, meet new people, but you just have to put yourself out there, because you just never know. Like, you just be surprised the people who you can like even interact with, and then it changes like how you're viewing things. They've gone through like a probably similar experience, and there are different ways like they approach, even like when it comes to stress. Like, yeah, even me, I went through that, and this is how I cope with this and that. Okay, like, so also now, how do you like just, let's say, educate yourself now that you're not in school now, right? And how do you more like just keep yourself with more knowledge on how you should be, like, maybe let's say an advocate for mental well-being, and also like just maybe in future now try and pursue like even just picking up, would you say, clients or?
I think now with education, the most important thing is to read. A lot of these things, you'll not find them on a TikTok. If anything, there's a lot of, what do you call it, self-diagnosis going on the internet, and that doesn't help anything, because you're not guaranteed any of this information is correct. So once you're able to at least educate yourself, and then able to understand how maybe you're behaving or compared to how somebody else is behaving, that gives you a better idea even how to treat yourself and how to treat others. So let's say, for example, with me, I don't necessarily like to leave and go out to places a lot, but I find when I am there, I want to be there and engage fully. So then how will I find this balance where I can enjoy these experiences, at the same time keep myself from like getting panics or getting anxious? So then I'll find, okay, maybe give myself, if you want to leave at this time, leave at this time. But if you're still enjoying yourself, don't feel the need to leave. So like having an idea of how you react to situations, or having an idea of how your friends react, that gives you more of a ground to understand each other. And I feel like understanding each other comes a long way. Because, for example, if I piss you off, you may not tell me immediately I've pissed you off.
Oh no, I'll tell you immediately.
Okay, or if...
Do I, how does it go?
Then I'll be like, okay, if I piss John off, this is what happens. This is how I'll navigate this relationship with John.
Yeah.
But I'm like, he'll figure it out.
Yeah.
That will also make me like a bad person for overlooking you and your reaction. It's like I've just assumed that, oh, he's angry, sini sawa too.
Yeah, imagine.
So so having that understanding of how someone will behave from your reaction, or how your reactions affect other people, really helps a long way, because being nice goes a very long way.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, also, just because this is something that you've also mentioned, and you're saying like there's a time like now you got yourself like in a place where you just maybe drinking, and it was like back to back. I think like a lot of people are using that like also like now for coping. But because I think, did I share it like on my Insta story? They're just saying like how now people like the generation grew up, let's say from 16 to like probably 28 there. Like people are just drinking like crazy and just using like so many drugs. But it's not even like just to have fun. It's like an escape kind of. So it's not even like, because have you ever been somewhere with someone, and then like let's say, yes, you're drinking, and then you start like just looking. It's not judging. First of all, I'm not talking about judging. And then you're looking at a person, you're like, I don't think this person is drinking to have fun. They're drinking because this looks like it's escaping or something. Yeah, because you see somebody like now completely like this is not even like their character. Like they've switched or something.
Anymore.
It's not fun anymore. Yeah, so I mean, just that whole situation where you see like a young generation of like just people now running to alcohol or like just super drug. Of course, pills now very popular as well and everything. But is that just something like, let's say when you're going through that period also, like how easy is it to detach yourself from now that routine that was giving you that escape? Because I'm guessing like now once you drink, you're in a whole different bubble. Now the anxiety is not there anymore.
If anything, you're even more confident.
Exactly.
Liquid courage.
Exactly. Liquid courage. Exactly. So how easy is it to detach from just that now and say like, you know what, I don't need alcohol. I can actually just, have some fresh air and breathe, hike, all that. And when you mentioned, was that during COVID or post-COVID?
Towards the end of 2020. So I'd say towards the end of like the quarantine period where there was the curfew was still there, but it wasn't as strict. I think it was at 7 p.m. or 10 p.m. I don't remember.
Yeah.
It was around that time.
So how easy was it for you to just detach yourself from that? Because I know it's not easy.
The thing that was easy for me is that when I started hiking, no one started looking for me to drink anymore. So it was my decision to now leave these people because I've called them for hikes, they want to come. And now they don't call me to drink, meaning that's the only reason we were interacting in the first place. So I found that, okay, these people are not coming for my hikes and they're not inviting me to drink. Well, I guess I found my way out.
So you changed your circle completely, would you say that? Or
I wouldn't
you just
say I
keep
changed
them
it. It's that I wasn't hanging them out as much because I wasn't now binge drinking with them as
You're
much.
not available.
Yeah, I'm not, they can't call me because I'm calling them for hikes and they're calling me to drink. We're not on the same page.
Guys, a hangover, you're talking about like climbing
I'm
mountains.
waking up at 5 a.m. and someone is like, what?
Hell no, 5, no way.
So I think also letting go of that idea of these are the only friends I have or these are the only people I can ever hang out with was one of the decisions because I think even during that period, I wasn't talking to a lot of people because I'm always out on the mountain somewhere, I'm always running away, I guess, in a different way because at this point, I feel like I was still running. It's just at this point, it was more beneficial in my health and everything else. So it's not that I was okay. I was still running.
No. I get
still
it.
running. So I think also noticing that some of the crowds you hang out with aren't not really supposed to be, aren't there for a lifetime.
Yeah.
Sometimes you meet people and you're only meant to be them for like a year, learn from them, do your own interactions, and then move on. It's not all time you can hold on to these things that you're so used to because then you'll keep hurting yourself.
Yeah, because
if I stayed, I'll still be hurting.
Even though the memories were good, at times you have to understand, and that's one thing that I think other people don't easily understand. And even like when you're telling them, like, I know I would want us to hang around the way we used to hang around, but it's just not beneficial for, honestly, both of us. We can't recreate those memories. Those times were good then, but you have to understand now we have to keep it moving for the sake of both of us to grow. We just have to take sort of different paths. We can always reconnect again in future. Yeah. And that's
2 years down the line, I have taken the same friends hiking. It just needed some time. They didn't want to go, and I wasn't supposed to be like, okay, guys, if you don't go, we're not friends anymore.
Yeah.
That has nothing to do with me, and I should also let them find their way in their own pace.
Yeah.
You can't force someone into doing something when they don't want.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. Are there any, let's say maybe, I always see this kind of workshops or projects to do with just mental health that people have, online groups and stuff. Are any of those things that you're involved in, or personally thinking of starting your own projects? Because a lot of people, once they get in that space, even if it's online, I'm guessing a community that you're building that you can talk to people about different. I'm just trying to see how you can.
Okay, there's been a few events that I've been a part of because when I started hiking, they also incorporated yoga, wellness, such kind of activities within also the hiking space. So even recently, this weekend, there was a wellness pop-up where people can come and paint. They came to do dances, breath work. It's all these activities that help you center yourself, help you meditate, and also slow down. Yeah, so there's events that happen monthly. There's some that happen quarterly. Yeah, I think, there's a lot that I also put up on my stories on Instagram, on Twitter. When people maybe are having a game night. I think game nights have also been another activity that people do. yes, it still involved drinking, but I would say in that there's also more of a sense of community other than drinking buddies.
Yeah, this drinking thing, man, it's not for everyone. I think, but I guess like even for me, I'm just trying to see if like I've ever been like, yes, I can drink, but if I'm drinking, I'm always drinking to have fun.
I mean,
Like,
yeah.
so like even the way you're saying like game nights and stuff, I think that's good. But like the other drinking like for club, I don't really enjoy it because now like I'd be having fun, but there's somebody else. It's like, yo, this doesn't look like normal drinking, man. Like, yo, can we try and be on the same page, kidogo?
With you know your limits. This other person doesn't.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Because you can have 2-3 shots. You're like, okay, I'm good now, and then an hour down, you're like, wait, no.
Actually, now I can just do like 2 beers.
Yeah.
Maybe if there's a shot somewhere, I can do a shot, and then I'm good. I
think you also need to know your limits when you indulge with such things. Because something like alcohol, it's such a slippery slope. You can go from 1 beer to on the streets, like singing your heart out.
Just like this,
Because with something that alters how you behave and how you think, you can't expect it to give you control. After you've already given it all the control, you tell it that, okay, I'm going to be binge drinking every weekend. This is how we learn to cope.
Would you say you are extremely a different person or Look at you, Maka, you're like, or you're like an extremely different person?
I think if you meet me now, you'll be like, are you really that introverted? Like if I met you...
Oh, really? Or like, so it's a completely different person.
Like it's a tangent, I would say, because now I don't put myself in situations where I would have like second guesses. And that mostly now involved around going out to drink.
Yeah.
Because then I know, I'll reach a point in the night I get stressed and I'm like, you know what? I don't care about anything that's going on. Like I forget that I only came here to have fun.
Yeah.
Because now I'm like, okay, when do I see this people again? Maybe never. So let me just stay through the night so that I can spend as much time as possible.
I'm leaving. Yeah. I'm that person of like, let me go to the washroom. I'm gone.
Yeah.
Because nowadays, even like that thing of like, hey, take another shot. Once you start that, just know.
It's now I used to that person. I'm like, I want, because I'm that people pleaser who's like, I'm going, don't go. It's not, I'm that person who was like, okay, I'm not going to disappoint anyone, so I'll stay.
Wow.
Yeah.
And you still drink more, alcohol is coming more.
And even then, I'm like, okay, wait, how was I supposed to go home? All these things I forget.
You don't even know how you're supposed to.
Yeah, because I'm trying to make everyone happy and then forgetting that, you know what, I also
You're the one who's supposed to be happy, first of all. Yeah, you need to. Yeah.
It takes some time because being a people pleaser, I feel like starts at such an early age. And before you even realize this is happening, it's so hard for you to even say no. Like if you're invited out, you can't be like, no, I'm not available. Like, okay, I'll come, but I'll only come until 2 p.m. And we all know if you're going to come until 2 p.m., might as well be 2 a.m. Yeah. So like finding that boundary where I'm like, you can miss this out and still be okay. There's some joys in missing things out. There's not always the fear. Sometimes it's nice to have a nice self-care day at home where you eat properly. There's another thing where I find people don't eat.
Yeah.
Like,
okay.
Like eating, I think, is something very important.
Are you the type of person who are like, because for me now, I do try and I wouldn't say like a strict balanced diet, but like how's like just your meal, or should I say nutrition routine? Like what kind of person are you when it comes to like food?
I think since like growing up, my mom always made sure there has to be greens, there has to be fruits, there has to be a balanced diet. So I also grew up being like, okay, if there are no greens on my plate, there's something off. So I think that came easily to me because you'd find I'd rather be eating maybe some broccoli and whatever than fries. And I'll be like, why are you eating broccoli? I'm like, because it's nice. Like, so with things like that, I found that since my mom already set that foundation, it hasn't been hard. I find myself very rarely craving fast food or craving things that I know when I eat, I'll feel horrible.
Yeah, for me,
so I think also because I work out a lot, I have to keep in shape for me to be able to do the things that I enjoy.
Yeah, hiking, there's no way doing hiking if you're out of shape.
There's no way.
Break your leg, muscle pulls, you just won't be able. In fact, even just by weight, how have you realized, like, let's say if you're a person who likes eating, I wouldn't say like completely clean food, but just balanced food. And then you have like one day where you eat like a full junk spread. You know how you just feel,
okay.
you
don't feel okay.
you feel sick. You just feel sick. And it was good food, it was delicious, but you just start feeling sick
Yeah, because
for no reason.
it's not okay. I don't want to be like, oh my gosh, eat well, drink your water. But it's the small things, like taking a shower in the morning will give you a whole new perspective
Yeah.
compared to if you just woke up, missed your breakfast, missed your lunch, sat down all day. At that point, your body has not moved at all.
Yeah.
There's no point where you've engaged yourself to, the endorphins, the serotonin. It needs you to be active. It needs you to be taking care of yourself. Yeah.
I
it's the
do my
basic
morning
things,
jogs.
the
I do my
basic things.
morning jogs, or okay, sometimes I do like doing maybe between 10, 11 there when the sun is out and it's hot. I just love that. That's the time I love being out.
Yeah.
And then I come back, take a shower, and I just feel like I'm just ready to tackle the day. Just by doing that, like it just... And I think maybe for me, it's maybe the exercise routines, keeping myself busy with things that I enjoy, not putting myself in situations or spaces of things that I don't love doing. I think that gives me maybe like a better way of just like coping and not getting in that, space where because I think like I see so many people, like, let's say like the suicide rates right now, every single week, like even yesterday.
It's just out of control.
And then for me, I'm always like, okay, and this sounds like so silly by the way, because I'll be those ones of like, now you want to tell me if I kill myself, I won't be able to go for my runs that's one. Two, I won't be able to go for dates.
Like the little things.
Yo, are you telling me I won't be able to go see my mom? So I'm just like, I don't see, but I'm trying to see, to also understand, like, how dark does it have to get for you to be like, you know what? I don't care about anything else that's here for me. Because I'm just looking at my podcast today. I'm not leaving. But I'm just saying, like, I would also, I sympathize, because I think somebody has to be in a very, very dark place, so that's the actually thought that comes to you where, like, you know what? Even these people that I like, maybe if it's your partner, parents, pet, even maybe if you have a pet, like, who's going to feed your cat, man? Come on, what's, all those things, for you not to care about them. I think it's...
Yeah, that's the thing, like with mental illness, you can never truly explain what's going on.
Yeah.
Because you may find everything is fine. You're able to pay your bills, able to pay your rent, you're able to go out on trips, you're able to take care of yourself, but still at the base of it, you're not being... I don't know how to say it. Like there's...
You're not at peace?
You're not at peace. You're not... I think you're just not happy, either within yourself or the things you do, or with the people also that surround you.
Yeah.
Because also another thing I noticed, like when with work and your colleagues you're all on the same page, but none of you talk. So each of you is suffering individually, where you could all come together and have a conversation, and it will be much easier to, I guess, go through the day. Because let's be honest, it's not easy to have a 9 to 5. Every day you're waking up, every day you're going to, you're not even certain that this is what you like to do.
I got goosebumps. I was like, do you do a 9 to 5?
Yeah, I do.
You do?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Finish what you're saying. My apologies. Finish what you're saying before I come
like
to that.
with even the situations at work, like every aspect of your life will offer some sort of either stressor or a reliever. Some people will run away from home to go to work. Others will run away from work to go to home.
Yeah.
So I think getting the balance where, say, if you go home and maybe there's, like, I don't know, there's something off at home, maybe take a moment to make this home homey, so that now when you go to work, you're not bringing your work stresses to work.
Make it just like a comfortable environment. Even that bed, the importance of things like waking up in the morning and spreading your bed, so that when you come back in the evening, you just lie down and
feel a breath of fresh air.
Imagine if you didn't spread your bed, and then you come back from work, you're so stressed.
And then you see the bed.
You just look at that bed, you're like...
Might throw away the sheets then. Do I need them?
Just throw everything away and sleep down on the ground. So I think it's just some of those small things. But just, I guess, just being able to manage small things so that it doesn't like get you to that space.
To the limit.
It's so important. Okay, so now let's talk, because you mentioned now 8 to 5. For me, I think like when I tried the 8 to 5 thing, I honestly speaking, I think that's where now it would be super stressful. Okay, now I actually think I understand.
Yeah.
If you're doing an 8 to 5,
Even though you come home to a comfortable house, everything.
8 to 5 is horrible.
It's so hard for you to leave your job at work and come back home.
Yeah.
Because coming back home with your work is, let's not even get started. Being
Okay.
called when you're off the clock also feels as if you don't have an escape.
Yeah.
Like your boss can call you even when you're about to put on a movie. So that feels like your safe space is being occupied by your boss through the phone.
He's in the house with you, by the way.
So I think also getting that boundary of, I can't have my job run my life. In as much as it pays my bills,
Yeah.
I need to also have this understanding where I want to please my boss, but at the same time, will I die so that I can please my boss when at the end of the day, I too deserve a break. I too need that 30 minutes when I get home to just center myself and be like, okay, I'm home. Maybe I need to eat.
Yeah.
Okay, do I need to shower? Did I leave anything pending? Instead of, okay, I'm coming back home to work. So I think when it comes to employment, something we also need to push on is having the boundary between where your employer cannot be calling you when you're home. Like,
especially after you've been there from
Yeah.
9 to 5. And then...
not even that, you left
Yeah.
your home even before the 9 because of traffic.
Oh, yeah, true.
You're barely ever in your house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't miss those days, but what do you do for an 8 to 5?
I work in recruitment, so it's just a lot of admin work.
Okay.
Yeah.
You find it fulfilling, or there's something else that you'd want to change probably in future? Venture into like, what would be more satisfying to you?
Okay, well, that's a good question because I don't even know the answer. As someone who enjoys to try different things, I don't have that specific visual of in XY years I want to be here. But I have these small goals where maybe at the end of this year I want to fully be selling my crochet pieces, because another thing with...
Is that what you're wearing?
Yeah.
Oh,
Another
okay,
thing that I
nice.
found is, in as much as I do enjoy my hobbies, all my insecurities will still pour into these hobbies. So you'll find that, for example, with crochet, I've been doing it for a few years. I think I'm good enough. When it comes to someone coming to like maybe make an order, I'm like, oh my gosh, am I sure that I can give them what they want? Like, I already start doubting myself, and I'm like, wait, you've been doing this for so long, you enjoy it,
Yeah.
you've learned it.
Yeah.
What is this that's making you feel inadequate, even when someone has come to you?
Like a client has come and then you're
Like
like,
someone has seen your work
why?
and told you, hi, I want you. So I think also navigating that part where you can't always be your hardest critic. There's always room for you to learn and to know more. So yeah, for now I want to venture more into my crochet business because it's something I really enjoy doing. And then I've also started taking people on wellness hikes. I've done one so far.
That's nice.
Yeah, so I want to
That's
do more
nice.
of those. But again, me and my social anxiety doing the nitty-gritties of planning have been quite a stressor. Not impossible, but a stressor. Yeah, so I think it's been hard because I'm so, like, I hold myself back because I think I can't. And no one has told me I can't.
Come on. Listen, first of all, here's the thing. You know how many people can hike? Let's start with that.
That's the thing. I did Mount
No,
Kenya in
not
under
so many
12
people.
hours, and I felt like, okay, people
did
have
what?
done it before.
Mount Kenya
Yeah.
in under 12 hours.
Yeah. Up to the summit and down. But still, even then, I was like, everyone has done that before.
No. Listen, I jog, do my walks every single day, 7 kms,
That's
and
a lot.
yeah, and Mount Kenya is still one of those things I'm always like, yo, you tell me Mount Kenya, I'm like,
Cindy.
nah, it feels like it's just too bad. What I know is like, if I find someone who has like that momentum and they say they're going, I'd be like, okay, this is someone I know. Okwanza, there you said you've done it in?
Under 12 hours.
Yeah, so now I'm like, she did under 12 hours.
It's
I'm like, yeah,
possible.
come on, I have to. Because now it's like I know somebody who did it and I can push myself to get there. And even if I need tips, I can ask them like, hey, how was the breathing here?
How did
Was
this
it
happen?
cold?
What
Is it hot?
season?
Exactly. What's the best time to go? All those things. So don't underestimate things that you no, you can just do. And then you're just saying like 12 hours, just casually.
Light one.
Not so many people can do that.
know, I
Not
think
so
that's
many
the
people
thing.
can do that. So
That's the thing with being like
that's
an
already
insecure
that's already
person.
expertise there.
Okay, yeah.
Hey,
Sorry.
listen. That's already expertise. So that meaning, like the most you can do, how many kms did you do? And then you're just like, I can't do this.
It's over.
3 kms. 3. How long are your hikes?
At least 25 to 30 kilometers.
Okay. And that's uphill, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Ash did 3 kms.
Okay.
She almost reported me to the police and parents of like,
I
just
find you
this work is just not good enough for me. I'm just being stressed here. 3
Can you
kilometers.
imagine they made me walk?
Imagine 3. Huh? So here, 25 to 30 is crazy. So you have to be, first of all, fit. Mentally, you also have to like just focus on getting to the end because,
You have to come back.
Yeah, exactly.
You have to
Because you
come
walk. Anytime, the farther you go, you have to remember that same distance you're covering. It's like, my guy's like, hey, maybe I should turn back from here. This is...
I mean, the view here is also nice.
Yeah, yeah. But I'm just trying to picture, what kind of places do you go? Are there any specific spots that, you enjoy going and even once you start doing like those ninis?
I think a lot of the trails I've done are usually just within Nairobi and Kiambu. I feel like there's a lot of the hidden gems.
She stays in Kiambu. She told me there's nowhere to go there to do things like
Kiambu
hiking
County.
And stuff. Kiambu County.
Yeah, Nairobi and Kiambu County.
Where?
But Kiambu and Githunguri are not far. Yeah. Githunguri has a lot of very beautiful trails.
You know them?
So, and then also if you go past, you can go towards Muranga. Like whatever the rivers are, follow where those are and you'll find your waterfalls, you'll find all the places. And then also the Aberdare for the mountains.
Yeah.
The Aberdare range, I really like it because it's very beautiful.
How are the temperatures
mountains.
when you're doing the hikes?
It depends because I've been there being rained on, hailstones, sun. So it depends. Like every month is different. You can go to Mount Kenya today and there'll be snow. You can go next month and the sun will be, So
it will be a bit.
It really depends because I think when it came to hiking, I didn't really care much about the weather, more of where we're going. So
Really?
Like it reached that point where I like this so much. If I'm
Whatever weather is thrown your way, are you okay?
I was told to carry a rain jacket because it might rain.
Yeah.
So I think embracing all those experiences all as they are is also something that, in a way, I think is a reflection of me. Like accept yourself the way you are because you will not be sunny every day. Sometimes it'll be hailstones. Sometimes I'll be falling down in the mountains. Sometimes I'll be gliding through a waterfall or something. Like every day is going to be different, and having to learn that, I guess, from nature shows you the most natural form of all of it.
And you also have to remind yourself, like, there are people somewhere in hospital beds who are wishing, like, they would just be able to have, like, a weekend.
Like being able to breathe this air that I'm
Go
breathing.
for that hike.
Yeah.
Go for that hike and just be able to walk, do, like, a dip in that pool or whatever on the next to the falls, just dipping your feet there and actually be able to go back home. I think such small pleasures that people just take for granted. That's why when I hear someone just saying, like, I feel lazy to do anything, I'm just like, you know what, you wait till
you can't be able
to do that. Or a friend or family member who you've gone to visit, like, in hospital, and you see them saying, like, yo, I wish I'd be able to just walk, enjoy breathing and all those two small things. Hey, I did that a couple of times. I'm like, hey, nowadays I don't complain about anything. I'm just like, hey, it's sour.
Yeah, also
it's all good.
Like being grateful and having that gratitude.
Yeah.
Yeah, it helps a lot. Like being in a positive mindset also puts you in a position to embrace things more. Because I found, like, say when I started hiking, I wouldn't, can I say see? Like, I would just walk. If you told me, where did we come from? I don't know. I'm just walking.
Yeah.
Because my mind is not even here. I'm just, okay, I'm outside the house. Let me make the most of it. We're going to see this waterfall. Okay, let me go see the waterfalls.
Yeah.
But then now recently, I'm like, oh, wow, okay, this river is the same one that connects to this other one. So the features here are similar. Like those small things where you notice and immerse yourself in be present in the moment. Then when I'd go back home, I'd have all these beautiful memories. I'd be like, oh wow, today I swam in a waterfall, or I slept beside a waterfall. Then the next day,
sleep the whole night, or are you talking about like a power nap?
Just like a power nap.
Oh, hey, let's not.
But if
we
you're
can't push
camping,
it now. Let's not.
If you're camping, yeah, you stay the night.
But there are no wild animals or anything crazy.
I mean, you haven't encountered animals, which is so interesting. I thought like once you leave Nairobi, you'd at least encounter something. I've only encountered monkeys, even a snake. I've not encountered any snakes, nothing.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
No, but snakes are. You go sleep in Ukambani. Go try sleep in Ukambani. But there it's dry. And I think also like Central has a lot of beautiful places to just walks. And scenery.
Even
and everything.
Tea farms, I feel like, are especially beautiful.
Yeah, there's... What's the name of this tea farm?
Tigoni.
I think that's the one. It's like on my to-do list there. So I've seen like their page, and they had like all those two small things. They take you through the tea farms. They show you how to do the tea thing. So nowadays, like such things, like for me, I think they'll be so fulfilling to do.
They are. Because even in going for these hikes and talking to the local guides, they have so many stories to tell you, maybe about how they used to be here when they were children, when this river was, like all these stories people are able to share also give you another perspective of a different life. I can't imagine living in shags every day. But if someone told me, I was like, wow, that's an interesting life. I want to also learn more about this and be immersed in everything. Learning from people is also fulfilling.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, I think also hiking up, I might also just decide to, try it out a bit.
Don't decide, just go.
Okay, I'll just go. But I think I'll get tips from you, like, or maybe when you're doing something that's not extreme, not doing those 12 hours Mount Kenya, no.
But here's the thing,
have something that's not extreme,
I'd never
just
invite
me.
you for an extreme as your first hike.
Yeah.
Because I know you will disturb me and I don't want to be disturbed.
No. I won't disturb you. First of all, I'll just be thinking like, if she's doing it, I'll do it. But I'll get a muscle pull somewhere maybe, or just like, and I won't collapse, but I might just get too tired. Yeah. 25 is extreme, especially if it's like, like a steep kind of. But if it's flat, I think I can even do 40.
But with the 25 ones, those are usually with challenging hikes. Normally, maybe 14 to 21 would be a good range for most hikes.
Oh, okay. So
yeah. The challenges are where now you start chasing more kilometers, more altitude, trying to test what your body can do.
Those extremes.
Yeah. I feel like it's fun when you see what your body can do. It's like an exciting journey, being like, okay, last year when I climbed this hill, it took me 4 hours. This year it's taken me 2.5. Like those small joys, I feel like, I don't know, they just make me so happy.
And then now, like, let's say in terms of like, let's say like your parents, are they supportive in like just your journey in general?
Oh yeah, they
the things that you're doing, what you go through, it's like,
If anything, I'm trying to get them to go on a hike with me, but they keep telling me they're not fit enough. So now when I left, they told me they've been walking. So I'll go again and see if I can now finally get them to go on a hike with me.
Because I think even, you see now the things that we're talking about, even for them, they're like, hey, I think we're just too old to do this. Because it sounds risky already by you just whatever you're suggesting. But I think that's what we're talking about. Like, it will get to an age where you can't do these little things that you think just like, it's just by the way.
There's people older even still doing these things.
You've met people like in hikes and
yeah.
Like how old? How old would you say?
60s, 70s.
No,
50s.
Now those ones are running away from something. Those ones like, wait.
If anything, they're even going faster than you, so you're asking yourself, wait, what's happening? I thought I am the young and strong one. Why am I not able to keep up? So I don't think age should be something that should limit you.
Yeah.
At any point in time, you can wake up and decide, I want to be a runner today. What's going to stop me?
True.
Yeah.
True. Also, I wanted to ask you, like, are there any, let's say, people you look up to or follow maybe online or social media who, like, just give good life tips on just how to maneuver, like, just in general in things concerning whether it's mental health or just your well-being in general? People that you'd say, like, this person is doing like a good job. Like if I was to scale up like whatever I'm doing, and maybe now you're doing like your talks, you're taking like 25, 30 people like in a trail, in a nature trail. Are there people who like have inspired you, or you can say you look up to maybe in that regards?
I think in the hiking community, there's a lot of people I feel like who have inspired me from the moment I started to now. I think mostly because of their can I say work ethic? Like the way they train, the way they prepare, the way like this is serious to them in that I'm also seeing that this is something I can do. It's not just for a professional to go and climb a mountain. Even I, as a regular person, can be doing these things. So when I started, there was people like Agoro, who's a mountaineer. So when I started, she had done Mount Kenya quite a few times. I was like, wow.
A few times.
I was like, wow, I want to do that. So I spoke to her. She does a lot of trail running. She even now takes people on hikes. I can't remember a lot of names.
Yeah, no, but the few that you remember, that's still okay, because I think, people can still follow you, like maybe on Instagram after seeing the episode and ask you, like, just maybe you can share like some tips and everything. And how do you prepare for like a hike in general? Because you mentioned like exercises and all those things. Is it like...
It depends. Like for the Mount Kenya Dash, the under 24 hours one, that one I think I was too scared, so I did a lot. Because I would work out 3 times a week, weightlifting and all. And I started running. So I tried 2 times a week, but I'm not a fan of running, so I have not done a lot of it.
You don't know what you're missing out. You're missing out.
My lungs are not ready yet, but soon.
Keep an open mind. You're telling me the same thing about hikes, so
Yeah.
Touche.
Also now in terms of hydration is key, because once you go to higher altitudes, it's much harder for you to take in oxygen, just breathe in general. And then also in the things I eat, there are some things prior to, say, for example, to go into high altitude mountain, you should avoid maybe like milk because of the lactic acid accumulation and things like that. So depending on which hike I'm going for, I'll then look at my fitness level. Like if I haven't been working out maybe for 2 weeks or a month and I'm going to a high altitude mountain, then I would then go back and into my routine. But if it was maybe to Ngong Hills, which I'm more used to, I'd be like, okay, just make sure that you're eating well so that you have the energy to climb this mountain, because then I know my body can get me up.
Yeah.
So it depends a lot on you as an individual and also the hike you're going for.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think for something small, maybe like Ngong Hills is not that crazy, right?
Ngong Hills is hard.
It is?
Yeah, it is.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because you're climbing 7 hills.
Oh, because you're going...
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe something like Karura is a good place to start.
Yeah, Karura is nice.
Mount Longonot, Mount Kilimambogo. Which other ones?
Have you thought of doing Kilimanjaro? I know my friend has done Kilimanjaro.
Eventually, yes. But maybe next year. Yeah. But no plans yet. Because I feel like with hiking, also look into the costs of all these things.
Oh, but they haven't asked. Like, why is it expensive?
Depends. If you're starting off, it's quite affordable. But of course, as you get into it, you're starting to buy.
Hold on. We like talking about numbers here.
Okay.
What do you mean when you say like, it's just fair?
When you start, mostly you're going to cater for your fare and maybe your snacks and the guide fees where applicable. So within a day hike, I would say maybe 1,000 to 1,500.
Okay.
But then now once you start considering things like your gear, you're not going to go with your regular shoes. You're going to now invest in your gear. So your backpack, your hydration bladder, your...
Give us slight, give us estimates. Whatever you know, whatever figures you have, I think it's good because people always like make comments also, and like they maybe somebody's selling. They're like, no, by the way, I can get these ones for cheaper, or I can get these ones here and stuff. So what kind of cost are we talking? Hiking shoes?
Hiking shoes would range from maybe 3,000 and above.
Okay.
And I feel like it depends on what kind of feet you have, because I have very big feet. So if I'm finding shoes,
size number?
I'm finding men's shoes. They don't have my size in female shoes. I don't think that's important. So
it's like, I don't think that's important. So I won't talk about that.
So I'd say if you're finding looking for shoes, a good budget is 3,000 kuendelea.
Okay.
And also, when you're looking for a shoe, don't look for something just because if you get into it, you're going to wear this shoe almost every time.
Yeah,
So
well, anytime you're doing a hike, you have to put into consideration even the wear and tear, I'm guessing, right?
Even the trail you're doing, where you're going, and things like that. With the backpacks, okay, let me just say,
is it the big ones?
No, the day packs, like I don't know what size.
Let's say you'd need probably a medium if you're doing like a day.
Yeah, just a day pack costs maybe 2,000. Hydration bladder 2,000. So I think with those three basics, you can start.
I'd say basic, maybe around 10 Gs for like basic accessories, and then now of course like extra miscellaneous cost now would be an occasional as you progress now, other things you can find interesting things maybe online that people are selling.
But even that 5K is a lot. If you go thrifting, 10K is a lot. If you go thrifting, you can find them a lot cheaper. A lot cheaper.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So we always just like to, those numbers are very important. Yeah, because somebody will be like, so now, and also another thing just now we haven't mentioned about numbers. It's like, because also I had a previous guest and I put like a snippet on TikTok about like therapy costs. So now like when the ones that maybe you've done or people have done, how much like estimate roughly are those sessions?
Okay, so for sessions, you can even get free sessions. Some hospitals offer free sessions. But if you're looking to get, I think maybe your own therapist, there's services I've seen online like Wazi. Wazi, they have 2,500 per session. There's also, I think there's therapists online. People who now have their own pages. I found you can also reach out to such. So the range of the cost, I would say, would be between 2,500.
Okay.
Yeah.
So now when somebody's being like a therapist online, do they need to be certified or?
Of course, yeah.
They need to be certified.
Yeah. It's like,
so I can't just say a side gig where I'm just like, just talk to me.
There's ethical considerations in your interactions. So if anything was to happen to the patient, you're going to be liable for it.
Oh, imagine. Just after finishing a session with the patient and then they're saying you like, now story time guys on TikTok. They're like,
because even you can't just text your therapist. That's against their code of conduct.
Oh, you can't?
Yeah. Like
so if you're in distress at night?
Like for you to text them, like say outside their parameters of work, they also have to, what is it? How do I give an example? So for example, if I went out and I was like, oh my gosh, hi, XYZ is happening. Yes, they will help me.
Yeah.
But if I went to just chat with them, they will have to not be my patient, my therapist. So it'll have to be talking to me as a friend.
Yeah, not like as a nini.
So she's not a professional in this setting.
Okay.
Yeah.
Makes sense. Okay, not bad.
So you can't just be a therapist, so please.
No, I was thinking
get certified.
I'm always looking for opportunities. I'm like, okay, now this Gen Z, I think they enjoy talking to a lot of people. So now...
You can give your services as someone who talks to people.
Oh, I can do that.
I don't think anyone would.
I won't put a title to it. So, I mean, guys, also
if
she's an expert. Also, if you need to talk to me, I think I can do 2 Gs. Because if it's standard Apoca 2.5.
But in this case, then you won't be giving them any advice. You're just listening.
Oh, yeah, no advice. Hey, I don't want to be liable for anything, So I'll just be like, you can just talk to me. Ask me about personal experiences or how I can handle something. And I think at times people also just look for an outlet. Because I'm guessing if like you're not super social, you're anxious and all those things, and let's say you don't have a partner,
it's just you.
It must be crazy. Because now before you figure out how you can find somebody who can have that chat with, it must be really hard.
But I would say if you can invest in a hobby, something that is just for you to do. You don't need necessarily friends to come along. If they want to, that's fine. But something that you can always go to when you're stressed. If you write, you can go write on your blog. If you draw, do the same. If you walk, go take a walk. I think occupying your brain with something positive to do helps you manage those negative moments as well.
Yeah, not just staying idle.
Yeah, staying idle will just keep you in that bubble. you're going to think more of all these things affecting me, all these things coming on my way. And at the end of the day, you're doing more damage to yourself by remaining by yourself.
Yeah.
Because there's one thing I say is if someone, they say check in on your friends, but how will I be able to check on my friends if they're not communicating to me?
Yeah.
I can be like, yeah, my friend is fine, but in the background, they're crying every day in their room, but I don't know anything about this. So until you're
That's
able
true.
also to open yourself up to be checked on.
Why are you looking at her like that? I just zoned out. She's just zoned out. You like this?
If you want to be checked on, also make it possible for you to be checked up on. Yeah, I'd say that. Because me, as a person who doesn't talk, I know I won't go and tell someone anything. I'll be like, yeah, I'm good. I'm fine. But
Oh, you won't?
I will not.
Oh, okay.
Because I'm bothering you.
Okay.
So until I am able to be like, hi, I'm having this problem. This is what's happening. That's when I know someone will come to me and be like, hi, are you doing okay? Because
Yeah.
I've opened up that space. Introverts don't usually open that space up, and also you'll find, I'll solve this by myself. No, you won't.
It's impossible.
No, you won't.
Impossible.
So being able to open yourself up.
Do you think it's hard because I think how women express themselves and how guys express themselves, it's completely different.
Yeah, it is.
So do you think it's also an initiative that men should like take upon? Because also kind of like I hear a lot of people, but you're not finding me crying anywhere. That's just not going to happen. Maybe even if I'm stung with a bee, listen.
That's
okay,
true.
it has to be like proper weeps for me to start screaming and crying, but you're not just finding me crying on a regular. Even if I'm stressed, I would like maybe take a drive. But I think also like maybe my walks just take away like a lot of steam before I start off my day. And that's a good way to just jumpstart like my day. Yeah. But I don't know how other like just men in general are supposed to handle if it's something that maybe you know or you've experienced or you'd want like, you can even just advise guys in general because guys would approach it completely differently. I'm not going for like the beauty therapy things that girls go to. Okay, I do go for massages though. And my feet scrubbed occasionally, but how are guys like supposed to approach it? Because I'm guessing like for women it's slightly different. For guys,
I think in a similar way, honestly, if there's something going on, you cannot expect someone to assume it. So if you don't tell them, how will they know?
No, see, guys will say like, "Woke on umama sana." They're just
Are
complaining all the time.
Are you hurting yourself or are you hurting me? Because if I'm reaching out to ask you, are you doing okay? Yeah. It's because I've noticed maybe your behavior has been off. It's not because I'm just like, hey, niaje uko poa?
Yeah.
Yeah. So like removing that assumption that someone is supposed to know that you're doing good will help the person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So should they express themselves or just... Because they say a lot of men bottle it in, and that's why like you see incidents that get to extremes at times.
Because expressing yourself doesn't necessarily mean go and tell someone, hi, niko na shida. It might be slowly being like, hi, can we spend time? Can you go for lunch? Like extending out your time to like these small activities, like I keep saying.
Let's grab coffee, let's grab, a drink means a drink, not that, that one of...
Because for me,
like
if you reached out to be like, hi, can we go eat? And you've never done that before. I'd be like, okay, let's go eat.
But you'll still be like,
That to me, it will be positive because this person has reached out to me. Not in the most conventional way, but they have.
True.
You don't have to reach out in a way that is comfortable for one person in particular. I can also give you a phone call and be like, hi, can I come over and just sit down and not say anything?
Yeah, that would be weird, eh?
But that's the thing. When you're processing emotions, you can't necessarily have a blueprint. Like today morning, I'll wake up and meditate and I'll be okay.
Yeah.
You'll meditate and you'll be fine. You'll have managed your emotions for that point in time. But if you come back again the next day and it's still bothering you, you can't still keep doing the same thing and expecting something to change.
Oh, okay.
It's the hard things that help you get better. Like me right now talking. Like for me right now talking here is kind of removing that weight of I'm supposed to be okay all the time. Like if I'm on a podcast, I can't cry. What do they look at me like?
I mean, I think you remember even before we started, I told you, I think the first 10 minutes once we run through them,
And
it'll
then
be
we'll
okay.
continue.
I was hoping you'd make it to 10 minutes.
It's been over
I was like, she was almost there. But what do you think, like, just even like for us when we're just starting the podcast, what do you think just triggered that before?
It's because I
Like
don't
just
talk.
that.
So whenever I talk about things that hurt, the only thing I know to do is cry.
Okay.
You know?
Yeah.
Like that's the only way I've been able to cope, because every time I'm alone, I'll be crying.
Just cry.
You just cry, because how else do you release this emotion that you can't necessarily understand? Then after that, I'm able to.
We have some more tissues. I'm not asking that question again. Then
after that, I'm able to talk. I think it's the initial fear of when you say something, someone will react. So how will they react?
But, because now I'm seeing, like, even when, I'm guessing you're the person, like, even when they're laughing, they're crying.
All the time.
So now it's not like you're feeling any pain. You're just happy, I'm guessing.
It's just, I think it's...
what's the emotion that would make you...
The emotion comes before the reaction. Like there'll be a physical reaction, before you have...
Hey, those are a lot. I mean, we're not encouraging her to cry now to the whole podcast.
No. Like there's a physical reaction before you feel the anxiety setting in. Like, for example, I may be sitting down here and then my heart rate increases and I'm like, wait, what's happening?
Oh, really?
Yeah. Like you may feel the physical reaction before you realize that something around me is making me feel unsettled. So I guess when I cry, it's because I'm feeling the initial feeling I felt when I was alone and not the one now.
It comes kind of...
Yeah.
But, okay. I mean, I'm just trying to understand, But...
There's a lot to learn.
But it's also interesting because I know there's also like a friend, like I think it was her birthday. And then, the way you can do like this birthday surprises like in the restaurant. And then there's a saxophonist guy who came and started playing and everything. And she just started crying. So me, I just like...
Tears of joy? Tears of
So I started telling her like, yo, people will think that I've done something wrong. People will think that I've done something wrong. But... I need to know, are you okay? Is this joy or is this like sadness? And she was just like, yo, I'm so happy. I'm just so happy. I was like, oh, okay. It's just because I've never seen that before. And it was like on an extreme level. It was just like tears. So there were people who were like,
what's happening?
Is she crying? Because, it looked like, did she say like she's pregnant? And the guy said, no, is it mine? Are you sure it's mine? So... but now the saxophonist there was like playing like a happy birthday and in the end, like, a lot of people were just like, hey, I like doing extremes at times, but you have to watch out for people's emotions because you might get judged because now I'm just looking at her like, yo, you need to slow down with the crying. Hey, chill.
But that's also their way of expressing their joy.
But that's what they told me, like when you surprise them with something and they're extremely happy.
It's like, what do I do with
They
myself?
just start crying. And I was like, hey, this is very different. So I understand the way you're saying.
Because the same thing happens. At the time my partner did something different and I cried, then he was like, are you okay?
Yeah. Like,
but what's going on?
What's going on?
Do you not like the surprise?
Did I bring was it the wrong color?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think even with, I don't know, guys don't cry as much. When someone cries even for positive emotions, it's like, wait, what's happening?
No. We need to be the support system. You can't just be crying all the time.
So
and imagine if we're partners and you cry, that's the thing that you've said. If you notice about people who get that emotion, right? If you start crying next to like somebody who also has the same, they immediately start crying. No, just two of us just cry. No. One person needs to just hold it in and just like be the shoulder to lean on. Yeah, we can't just both be crying. But of course, if that's your thing, you would just,
let the water work for you.
Yeah. Let it just work for you, man. For me, I just have to be, I can't be a meme out here, so I have to be strong.
I think there's also that pressure that you need to be the pillar of strength.
You have to.
No, you don't.
You have to.
So when you're experiencing extreme emotions, you're supposed to pretend that they're not there.
I don't pretend. I know they're not supposed to be there.
Please.
I know for a fact they're not supposed to. Or if they're there.
This is why when you express your emotions, it's so new to you.
No. But that's, I think guys in general, we're just supposed to be like that.
No, you're not.
So don't be lied to
There's no
and start
blueprint that
crying.
says you're supposed to be like that. Don't listen.
Does your partner cry?
If
The
they
same
were
way
like,
you do?
No.
Of course. Now you see.
That's because they're not me.
But is it comforting when, like, when, like, say you get that emotional and they're there to, like, tell you, like, it's going to be okay? And then, how's that feeling like?
It is nice, but also I offer
let's
the
stop it
same
at that.
feeling to you.
No.
If there's something going wrong.
You won't know because it won't be shown.
That's where we go wrong. That is where we go wrong.
No, but I'm just saying, okay, I would express myself, like, let's say if something like, or is off, has pissed me off, I'll just say, like, okay, today I'm not in a good mood because of this, but you won't find me highly emotional. I'd play maybe like a video game, I'd watch a movie, I'd go maybe out and eat. But you see, I think that's an easier option would be definitely crying, because it will save me a lot of money anyway. Be like, hey, instead of going out and doing I just cry for like, for how long? If you're crying for long, how long have you ever cried for?
I don't cry for long. It's just something like
emotion,
it's
and
like
then
an overwhelming
goes,
release of, oh my gosh. Then you're like, okay, cool. It's like nothing happened.
Oh, okay.
Unless now something bad has happened, then I'll be like, oh my gosh, something bad is happening.
Yeah.
But if it's the overwhelming, it's just like a release of emotions. There may not even be a specific emotion tied to the tears. It's just that I felt all these things coming at once, so they let go and then I continue.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah.
Okay. I think we've touched on like quite a lot when it comes to like just the general conversation about especially like mental well-being. And I think like a lot of people will also just learn a lot from the podcast. And even if they follow you, like there's so much more they can be able to just learn from hiking. We'll still keep doing like the video talks, right? Let it not be like a one-off thing.
Quite new. So for you to even have seen that one.
It popped up and I said immediately, because I was seeing the nature thing and everything. And then when I saw that video, I was like, okay, let me reach out immediately and, we can just talk about it.
But I post more on my Instagram stories because I feel like, I don't know, no one sees those. So whenever I post them, it feels like, okay, that has gone out. Cool. Yeah. I don't know why on TikTok it feels like there's so many people watching.
Oh, yeah. We are watching. I was like, okay. Kumbe, she can just put out some stuff out. Come to the podcast.
Kumbe, she can talk.
Kumbe, she can talk. Yeah. Actually, that's true. So I think it's also like a good initiative, because you'll be able to reach out to people who are also like just seeking guidance. There could be like some girl who's like just maybe in high school. They're trying to figure so many different things out. And even now, I'm sure like high school's coming with a lot of pressure. Yeah. And maybe they come across your videos and here you are talking to just someone who was looking for that voice. So trust me, it makes a difference. Like it reached to me and I was like, you know what? Let me bring her to the podcast. We talk and we can put it out. And people can also like just connect to what you're saying. A lot of people can relate to the things that you're talking about, because now a lot of people are going through a lot of shit.
Also, we hide so much because you don't know how someone will necessarily take something in, or someone will perceive something, or maybe it's the fear of if someone realizes that you have maybe a mental illness, they'll treat you differently, which I don't know.
Like, I don't know what I always say, like in my house, I have to keep knives away from women and children, not men.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why? And men are the strong ones?
Yeah, you won't see me taking a knife. But since I started saying that, every time in the news when I'm opening it, I'm like, yeah. Those knives have to be away for sure. Now, I wasn't saying it as a joke, but it's because I've just seen so many incidents where people are just unpredictable in the house. And these are not like psychopaths. You just see like it was it's two people who actually just love each other. So what would push somebody to like just stab someone to? A kid, it's because knives are dangerous to kids. But, for obvious reason, adult women, that's for me. They're saying it's safe if we have plastic spoons in the house,
I think a sharp object should just stay away from everyone. Keep them hidden. They should only be used when we're cooking.
Yeah. Cooking.
If you don't cook, I don't know why you own knives.
Yeah, you can't just be talking in the house and we're waving a knife like this. No. It's that's not happening. But it's just some of those things. If you've noticed, like lately on the news, it's like, and like that's the go-to thing.
someone just went and stabbed someone and went.
Yeah.
And if you look into it, it's not they just didn't wake up and go. Something is going terribly wrong in the
But
background.
but that's what I'm saying. And these are just people who are like it's not like a serial killer. It's like somebody who just woke up one day and actually, and the worst part is this one's like who are doing it even plus to like their kids now. I'm like, let's leave the kids.
It's a lot of, like when you don't know what's going on, it's so hard for you to even start figuring out what to do. Because if I woke up today and I'm feeling very overwhelmed and I can't pinpoint everything, I've woken up, I've eaten, I've done my daily routines, I have done my self-care, I've meditated, and then you still end up feeling as if you're still overwhelmed. So then you end up wondering, okay, then am I the problem? So when you get to a point where yourself cannot get these answers, then it gets confusing.
Yeah.
It's hard for you to even pinpoint what's happening. If someone asks you what's wrong, and then you'll be like, I have a headache. They'll be like, okay, go to get a painkiller. But if you tell them, I don't know what I'm feeling overwhelmed, I'm feeling as if things are heavy, no one has the answer to be like, go drink water and you'll be fine. So I feel like we need to have these services available to everyone, not just to people who can afford it or the privileged. It's hard when you're trying to seek help and you cannot afford it.
Yeah.
It's hard when you're trying to help yourself and there's so many restrictions. Either you have bills to pay, you have a child to look after.
Yeah.
It's hard when you expect all these things out of one person.
And it's all piling up just on you. So I guess I kind of understand, but, I hope for all people maybe who are watching or listening, we don't get to that extremely, extremely dark place. But, also...
I don't feel like you're alone.
Yeah, you're not alone. And if you see somebody online who's going through something and they're sharing, like, just reach out to them because they
DM them. They're open to talking.
Exactly. I think that's like just a good thing that you can do. But otherwise, what do you think about the episode so far? How was it? Like, how was your first podcast experience?
I mean, I think I did good.
No, you did good.
I think I did well because the anxiety is not that much. Because I can speak. Sometimes I can't even speak properly because it feels like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
So I think it went well. I think the conversation will also reach the people it needs to. And I hope if you do hear this and listen to these and feel like you're in a pit somewhere, just know you're not alone.
Yeah.
Once you speak to someone, you'll realize that these experiences are shared. And I don't know what it is. When someone tells you an experience that's similar to yours, you feel a sense of, not really relief because it's somebody else, but a sense of I'm not alone, so I can also manage to deal with this.
It's not a strange thing. Like, it's something that somebody else...
It's like we can do this.
Yeah.
It's not for some foreign news that we're like, okay, we have no idea what we can do.
That's good. That's true. So I think just maybe tell the people where they can find you, like your social platforms, and if you have anything else going on, just feel free to plug it on the podcast as we wind up.
Okay, so you can find me online on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, all at Justglomie. And then my YouTube is Glomie. And for now, I just do a lot of crocheting. So if you like crochet pieces, that's what I'm doing now. Also thinking of starting tutorials because I know people want to learn these skills. Yeah. And for now, that's it. Oh, yes, and the wellness hikes, sorry.
Yes.
Resuming in November.
Okay, so like when they're happening, if you have like a flyer or something or a video you need me to post like on my stories to circulate it, just please feel free because, like you are very open to just coming to the platform like
and
last
crying.
minute. No, that's a good thing. Like even just, because you're being yourself.
Yeah.
And I've learned even from that as well. It's like, you know what? That's why I was like, I hope. I mean, I haven't said anything because I was like, I've just finished the intro.
7 minutes.
I just started I'm just about to start the conversation. So it's just good to also know, like, okay, this is just like maybe like an emotion that is. It's not like I've said something wrong, but this is just like you expressing yourself, and you're also not feeling shy or guilty about it. And you're just like, But then after doing that, like you just chilled out and you started actually now like just being free in the podcast, which is good.
Thanks.
Thank you. So
My
thanks for
hands are
coming
sweaty.
through. No, not that much. Not that much. But anyway, thanks for coming. I hope to do a part 2 again with you. Maybe January, Feb, depending on just how, after the holidays and everything, we can talk about like New Year's resolutions, goals,
Or set new ones together.
set new ones. I'll definitely said you did 12 hours, Mount Kenya. I'm thinking
10 hours and 40
to challenge myself, I just try and just do like maybe 11 hours, 58 minutes there. But we'll see how it goes though.
It's very possible. Don't let anyone tell you can't do anything you haven't tried.
The Kisscapades podcast is your gateway to holistic growth and personal transformation. Together we'll unlock the secrets to living a life of health, wealth, love and happiness. So make sure to tune in every week and join us as we explore the essence of what it means to truly thrive. And lastly, show us some love and support in our social media platforms from Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, basically all the social media platforms that support podcasting will definitely be there. Even with the short clips and reels, you can find us there. And lastly, don't be shy with feedback, suggestions, or any questions that you might have in regards to the episodes or our podcast. It's the Kisscapades podcast. Goodbye.